And so now we're going to continue our awesome broadcast. We're not going to intermission. We're going straight through. We're going to go back to West Valley, Utah, to once again hear and listen to an awesome piece by El Sistema, in which they are actually showcasing a flute choir that is like simulating a musical and theatrical performance reminiscent of an old 1920s film in silent movies. So here we go, El Sistema. Thank you, Utah Sistema Flute Choir, for that really cool and original performance piece. Are you a Western movie guy? Do you like the Western films?
You know what? I do like Westerns.
All right, all
right. My brother always watched the Westerns growing up, so I kind of had to. So it really just grew on me.
There you go. Yeah, and that little film reminded me of those old Western movies, that we used to watch. So congrats to Utah Sistema. And let's get them on now. Folks, welcome. How y'all feeling today?
Good.
All right, so tell the world who you are. Introduce yourselves to us.
I'm Gianna Taylor.
And I'm Angel Carmona.
And I'm Connie McCullough. I'm the Sistema Utah Director over at West Valley 1 campus. And earlier you heard our students from West Valley 2.
Yeah, that was, Utah's really holding it down with the music out there, so appreciate it. There's some skills right there. And so, Connie and team, there's a quote that was shared with us I'd really like for you to talk about. I found it really interesting. Why don't you take a crack at it? Why don't you read it for us, Rudy?
Yeah, so it's a quote by Angel, and Angel says, the question is, how does being an artist help you learn in school or in life? And he responded, it makes me feel peaceful when I play music.
Yeah, that's a great quote from Angel there. And there's another quote that they actually kind of emulate the program by, and it says, "Friends." Let's see here. It says, "Forgiveness covers many mistakes, and friends are better than the cool factor." So I'm really curious about that quote, Connie. Why don't you kind of introduce that quote and have the students talk about it?
Yeah, we're actually going to break up the quote just a tiny bit. We're going to start with that friends are better than the cool factor, just a little bit. Gianna, what does that mean to you?
It means to me that sometimes when you have a friend, it could be very toxic, and you guys sometimes don't get along, but the other person seems kind of controlling over you.
Yeah, and so sometimes people ask us to do something, right? And we try to think, because they want us, we think it's to make us cool, or we're doing those kind of things. And we find that our real true friends are the ones who's really looking out for us, and they're ones that are not going to try to ask us to do something that's not right, and helps us so that it's not a toxic relationship, like Gigi said. Angel, what about you? What does it make you feel like with this quote?
Like, if you have like a toxic relationship, it's like that you if you have a friend in a friend in your group, or a person that's that has a big ego and thinks that they're better than everybody else, and they do things that just want to make them cool, that's like not okay, because you have to be yourself all the time, and you can make a lot of friends.
So what happens if you have that person with a big ego and stuff like that? Can they actually gain forgiveness for what they've done?
Yes, they can gain forgiveness.
Yeah, and just like in the video that we watched, Mr. Brennan, our wonderful 6th grade teacher who helped us out with this one, that the kids all begged to get him to do it with us. Big shout out to him. But the video is about how, like, he made a mistake. He stole some things. He thought he was stealing some treasure, and he finds out he's got flutes. And then his cute little daughters actually showed him how to play it. And then the rest of the students come and they're chasing him, and they find him, and they realize, they're like, those are our flutes. And then so they were able to make that friendship happen by instead of just trying to take it away and say, no, these are ours, and just walking away, they actually try to teach him something. And so it's more than just just becoming friends. It's about actually becoming more than that, and being able to willing to help each other with that.
That's awesome. And what I've always appreciated, Rudy, about after school is that we integrate, or we used to call it back in the day disguised learning. I think it's a little different now, but just the values that we can kind of integrate into the work that we do. Here it is, right? Classical music, and somehow through an old-time Western 1920s type film, you communicate this deep message around friendship and forgiveness. So I really appreciate you all putting that piece together. And I gotta ask, like, where did this idea come from?
I'm gonna have Angel start that one for us.
It came from where our flute teacher, Mrs. Clark, was seeing that we were having some trouble with the piece, and so she told us if we do good, we can make a music video out of the sheet of music. And then we started playing very good, and then we asked Mr. Brennan if he could be part of the video, and that's how we made the video.
And we had to ask Mr. Brennan, because it's called Brenna on the Moor, right? So we had to have him participate. Gigi, what else did we do to kind of create this video?
We mostly got together and we got to ask all the students what they wanted to be, and like Mr. Brennan's kids, and we got to the next year, I think I got to ask questions about it, so that was fun.
That's awesome.
Excellent. No, those are. Thank you for that little conversation there, Rudy. I mean, what questions do you have for these amazingly talented students?
First and foremost, great job. I really enjoyed the video. My question for you is, what was it like seeing the final product?
It was kind of amazing because I didn't think we were that good. It was only like my 2nd to 3rd year playing it, and I thought we did good as a team.
Yeah. they really pulled it off, and it was a challenging piece because there's multiple parts, and so they're not necessarily even standing next to somebody who's playing their part, and so it really is some intricate playing when you're trying to play so many different parts. And being only in elementary school at the time, it's kind of a challenge, and that's why the teacher was like, "Gosh, let's do something to get these kids excited about this song because it's really an amazing song." And they all ended up being one of their favorite songs by the end of the school year for sure.
That's awesome. And that's, I think what you've demonstrated is a real tangible example of this idea that we have at Mizzen about how after-school programs spark a love of learning in youth, and you all represent that so well. Connie, tell us a little bit more about what West Valley is doing out there around after-school programs and about your own lights on stuff that's happening over there.
Yeah, so we every year we do a lights on, and we actually do a lights off at the end of this school year just to close out the end of the school year for us. But we actually have this great lights on event, which is the very first event we do at our schools. And we don't just invite those who are part of our after school program, we invite the entire community to come to them. And we have all of these our community partners that come, and we have the families, and it's kind of makes you feel like you're part of this big family, and we turn it into this huge celebration where we just really feel united, and to being able to get resources that are available to our families from the community partners. We also have, it's also a big carnival where we have bounce houses, and we have some STEM activities, and this year we even did a little service project where we wrote letters to some of the military and sending a care package to them. And so we just make it into something that it brings us all together, and it's what kicks off our whole school year and makes American Preparatory Academy we're so united in that moment, and that's one of the great things about Lights On for us.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you for sharing all that awesome stuff that's happening in West Valley, Utah. Sistema, both the flute choir and earlier strings, y'all are doing great stuff over there. So thank you all for holding up the amazing work of after school. Keep up that awesome job.
And thanks for having us.
Thanks. Goodbye, Utah.